All right, you're asking for it, so here it is. Listen to this.
I want you fucking laughing at. We part of this pod, kid. You understand? We in here drinking, singing, all that shit, dog. We sweating, getting wet, all that.
All right, welcome to DP Quarentimes, lucky number 7, because we back in the stew, man. Still late to the motherfucker, but back. Some things don't change with a pandemic. We'll be late to the living room. We be late. I live around the corner, literally. We still late, bro. But we here, man. We happy to bring this content. It's a little different. I know the folks is looking. It's a little different. We sit on the couch next to each other. We still don't like each other that much, but we here to bring you this content because honestly, we just got tired of our ladies back home. Our fiancés. We got fiancés. I joined the club. So I'm half of your hosting tandem, Ed Bailey. I'm joined as always with my co-host, Dave Brace. You say what up to the people.
What's good with you people, man? What is time, man? You know what I mean? We're trying to figure it out, man. I don't know how many days of Groundhog Day we've been on, man. I don't know, but we here today, tonight, at some point, man. I don't know when you're listening to this.
We don't even know when you're going to see this shit.
You know what I mean? I don't know when you're going to get it. But we here now, and that's what matters. And if you're looking for us, you can find us on epiccastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, Google Play, and Spotify under Drinking Partners. And you can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod. Man, 200 and some odd. Yeah, 211 11s.
We have as many episodes as Shawty Low had baby mama.
As many names and DMXs, Rolodex. We've been here for a minute, man, and we've been asking y'all, and we will continue to ask you, man, please hop on iTunes, hop on Facebook, rate and review. That's how we know we're doing well. That's how we let others know that we're doing well, and that's how we continue to do well. So please hop on iTunes, hop on Facebook, rate and review.
Listen, you love us when you used to see us out in public, or now when you kind of see us driving by. You used to tell us you love us, but now we ask you, and it's imperative at this point, right? We really need you at the click of a button to please tell the internet, please tell the world about Drinking Partners, all right? We're trying to make a big splash upon our return. We took some time to ourselves, took some time to our families. I done messed around, got engaged. Shit done changed, right? But we want to know what y'all want to see from us, man. The world has changed. How you consume shit has changed. What you want to see, who you want to see, what you want to hear from us, man. Let us know. We bringing it for the people. We doing it for the people, all right? But this episode's for us, right? Because we get tired of walking in breweries and seeing a bunch of white guys, all right? You know what I mean? We want to see some folks like us. That's been our mission. That's been, that's been the message that we've been pushing. Everything we've done has been around diversity in this industry, right? And our episode today is indicative of such.
Very much so.
And not even just the diversity, but, I'm always, I'm from Cleveland, so I'm always pro OH10, right? You know what I'm saying? It's always the big O, and we always got to do it bigger than PA. We always got to do it, baby.
10.
They always, listen, they always taking their cues from us and then want to throw the 6 rings in our face, but we doing all the groundwork, you know what I'm saying? They might be the team that show up at the playoff game, but we the team that went through the trenches, did the two-a-days. We brought it all through the mud, all right? You know what I'm saying? Get it out the mud. OH10 in the building. We have, and we're lucky to have, he joined us today because he was sitting there like, all right, y'all on CP time now. I don't do that. I own a business now. We have the founder of Crafted Culture in Ohio, Anthony Sizzle Perry, you know what I'm saying, in the building. Say what up to the people.
Yo, what's good, everybody? We out here. We just trying to bear the change in this industry. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for joining us, man. We happy to have you. Thank you for with the OH10. They don't know about it, man.
They didn't know about that. They weren't ready for the OH10.
They don't got nothing in PA.
And I wasn't going to take you off because I bet if you check that roster, there's a lot of Buckeyes on that joint.
Yeah. Y'all good for, I guess now beer and, college football. You know what I mean?
What about that? We ain't going to get into the NFL.
It's a nice drive-through.
We didn't get into the NFL, but we
drive-through state. You know what I mean?
We didn't act like we didn't. I'm
But,
humble.
I'll give it your beer. The beer out there is phenomenal. I mean, shout out to Modern Method. Shout out to Great Lakes. Some of the, the OGs out there. Ryan Geist out there killing it. You know what I mean? Black Frog out in Toledo.
It goes on and on.
It's
You might have to start to put some color on that list.
Elmatic out there.
Black Frog, the Elmatics, the Esoterics, the Cincinnati Brew. Let's go, bro.
Run it down. So tell them how it's done, man. I'll be trying to tell them about OH10. And I'm actually very interested in your experience because you have all of those outlets of folks like yourself, in your industry who are blazer trails like yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like if you came out here, you'd be the first one. But you in there, it's already folks who are laying the blueprint. So just how did you get into beer? For one, let's start it off. For those who don't know, how did you get into beer? How did crafted culture, come to be?
To go back to the beginning, it's an accident, bro. This is unintentional, right? I was serving tables at a restaurant, and I always got the shit into the stick. They always gave me the bar tables. You don't ever want to serve the bar tables in a quick service restaurant. Okay. Right?
Because they chilling?
Yeah, they chilling. They camping. You can't turn your table.
Yeah, man. Oh no, I came up in the restaurant industry, man. Like you get them. Anytime you first start, I was bussing, and then I had to work up to get a server gig, and then as soon as you come on, they give you Tuesday bar night. You'd be like,
bro. You'd be like, come on, my God.
You gonna make $13 in 13 hours, bro.
Yeah. I got enough to put some gas in the tank and get a 4 for $4 on the way home.
And they gonna tax you. Yeah, I mean, like you gotta hope they give you cash because then you gonna have to pay Sam a couple of pennies off of that 13. It was.
Yep. Now I will say I was glad the way we were set up at our restaurant because they cashed out your credit card tips daily.
Okay.
Oh shit. All right.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at that.
Yeah. They would take your credit card tips out of your cash due. Like the difference was what got paid to you. That was dope. But I was in there serving these tables, and one day the bartender didn't show up. It was like his third time not showing up in like 2 weeks. So they was like, "Who's going to bartend?" And I was like, "I can read, motherfucker. If you got recipes, I'll make drinks."
Man, you listen, that's bold. Again, coming up in the restaurant, I've done every position in the restaurant except for bartender. I've always wanted to do it. It was like one of those, like, he was always the coolest. He or she, they were always the coolest motherfuckers in the restaurant. Everybody was, they were doing all kind of fancy shit. And that's where that's where the money flew, right? Like, because the alcohol sales, you got to go to the bar. I mean, it depended upon the setup of the restaurant. Right. You got to go through the bar or whatever. So, like, like that, like, man. So the bartender was always a coveted position, at least for me. And I never got a chance to do that.
Bartended?
I ain't even guessed. I guess bartended once a couple of years ago, but never actually did it as a gig, man. So to hear that you was just like, yo, I got it. Like I could read.
Yeah, that's a confident dude. Like,
that's a confident. Yeah, I mean.
And then he did it with attitude. Like y'all think I could read?
My thing is this: I tell cats all the time, like, bro, I'm ignorance on fire. I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing, but I'm not gonna stop doing shit.
What is life?
I mean.
And at the same time, I was like, if I fuck up my drinks for my tables, I can explain that away. But if we let somebody else come in here and fuck up my drinks, that's just gonna stress me out.
Yeah. Plus, so you can always over pour. Like, yeah, I mean, like if you can fuck up the recipe, but throw another shot in there, they'd be like,
They just said they'd be like, "This is too strong," but they finish it. They finish it.
It's not gonna be this strong. You can get away with that in some places for sure.
Yeah.
I took that day, and apparently I killed it. And they was like, "Yo, you a new bartender." So I started bartending, became a bar manager, and then I got super jealous of all the beer reps.
Okay.
These cats was coming in on the Mondays, hanging out, talking about, what new beers they had coming, bragging about their payday cases. And then they show up on Friday and Saturday with their company credit cards, buying back their beer. I'm like, so you getting drunk on company money right now?
Yo, bro, payday, man, like the payday cases and shit like that, the end of shift beers and shit like that. There's a lot of little perks in the industry that motherfuckers don't be knowing. I'm like, wait, that's how y'all living?
These cats talk about grabbing 2 cases of beer every payday.
Damn.
Yeah, that's the kind of, I'm like, yo, so I'm with that, right? I wanted that quality of life because
I used to pay.
The week, they work during the day.
Yeah, I used to spend a check every 2 weeks on a couple cases.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I used to work for the case. You mean to tell me you gonna give me a case with the check?
Oh yeah, the 20s payday was definitely the go out.
Yeah.
That was the night you went out.
True.
And you went all out. That's when you was buying your man's man a drink.
Yo, like come through. I ain't got no bread. No, I ain't say that. I just said come through.
I got it. I got it.
That was where I started really, cutting it at, because these dudes were dropping off samples every week, right? So I would take the samples and I would do this shit on my Snapchat. I call it Get Weird Weekend, where I grab 6 to 8 beers I never had before, and I just drink them and start talking about stupid shit while I'm drunk on Snapchat. A couple of breweries would see me like, yo, that was funny. Like, we like that. That was cool. I got tired of the restaurant. I was very jealous of these people. I was very talking to these people. So I was like, let me get a job in craft beer. I applied to like 7 different breweries up here. Everybody told me I didn't have enough experience. And I was like, this is beer, yo. How much experience do you need to tell a drunk motherfucker to keep drinking?
Yeah.
Like, why is it that you can't take a chance on me telling drunk people to drink when I was the dude selling your beer across the counter 2 months ago? Right? So I didn't get these jobs. So finally, I was drinking at a brewery by my house. They was like, yo, we can't hire you as a salesperson, but we need a delivery driver so you can deliver some beer if you need to. Okay. I started delivering beer. Then I started finessing some additional sales while I was delivering beer. I was like, yo, you got, I walk into the store and I was like, yo, you got dead profit centers right now. And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you got holes on the shelf.
You said you pulled out
start
profit
the lingo.
center. Yeah.
He started getting into the nomenclature. All the shit he picked up while they was drinking. He's like, profit center.
Because the only part that hurts is when you don't see coming, right?
Right.
So you had to hit them with some shit they didn't expect in order to get in there. I did that. I did like a bunch of times. And then one day I walked into a local grocer. Actually, if you really rock with that Cleveland shit, Lucky's Market.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes,
I walked
sir.
into a Lucky's Market right here in Columbus. As a delivery dude, I dropped off 4 cases of beer, right? I went to go put them on the shelf. I was like, I'm going to merchandise this for you because this area looks crazy. And I want people to buy this beer. While I was there, I talked to the beer buyer and I was like, yo, you should just fill the rest of these holes with our beer, bro. Like, I can have it here tomorrow. He was like, for real? I was like, yeah, we self-distribute. So just buy beer from me. I'll get here tomorrow. I sold $1,000 worth of beer right there. And a small store like Lucky's, that's a big deal when you figure the average case only cost about $35.
Yeah, that's the hood. That's the hood spot. That's like the local spot. You know what I mean, you go down there and you locally get your shit. You spend like $7,000 there. Right. Yeah, so you like the Drinking Partners meets Will Smith in Pursuit of Happiness. He like this motherfucker's like dedicated to this shit with one shoe.
That was key, bro. I turned that into a sales position. My sales manager quit. I took his position. And then a year later, I was the director of sales and marketing for that brewery.
Oh, shit.
They tried to expand at one point in time. They were flirting with putting a tap room in the hockey center and putting a brand new tap room in another suburb of the city. And I was like, we can't do both of those. But they kind of dragged their feet. Like, people were advising different things. Next thing you know, the money's about run out. We spread thin because we got too many projects going on. Bankruptcy hits. Bam. We out. So I'm drinking with the brew staff, like just hanging out, shooting the shit. And everybody's like, what we going to do? I was like, well, if it was me, I'd just go sell beer to the hood, bro. The beer doesn't know about this craft failure that you guys are because nobody in the hood knows about craft beer. Like, if you want to gain yards in this game, run where they ain't. And ain't nobody in the hood selling beer on some real. So they was like, they looked at me like I was growing a dick out my forehead during the conversation, bro. They was just like, nah, bro, that's dumb as hell. That's not happening. That's not a real thing. I was like, okay, cool beans. Then I came back with the stats and our COO was like, this is crazy. So in an investor meeting, I didn't think anybody was going to call my name. I'm drunk as shit. I'm killing these 8% Imperial Rye IPAs, eating some candy bacon, just fucking chilling. And he was like, you should hear what Sizzle has to say about beer. Like,
Had you been Sizzle prior to this?
I've been Sizzle since I was bartending at that Mongolian, before I was bartending at that Mongolian grill.
This sounds like a hell of an investor meeting. This motherfucker
Yeah,
pounding
yo,
beers,
yeah.
bacon, and being called
Well,
Sizzle.
when you in this industry, that's what investor meetings are.
Get on the
right?
mic.
That's what in this industry, investor meetings are food and beer.
Tell them about these profit centers.
Yeah, look.
Talking about the PCs.
Right.
Some new PCs in the building.
But we go into this meeting, and I'm like, all right, I'm drunk, but I'm uncomfortable at the front of this room right now, being drunk, talking to y'all, because I'm already the only Black person in here, and I'm drunk, and you asked me to talk about something, pretty important. So the first thing I want to do is make you all as uncomfortable as I am. Raise your hand if you got a Black friend that's not me. Everybody raises their hand, right? I said, now do me a favor. Leave your hand up if your Black friend invited you to their cookout. There's 40 investors in this room. 4 of them left their hands up. And I said, all right, I'm not going to say anything else because I couldn't have planned that any better. I was like, so where I'm from, we cook out all the time. And apparently 10% of the white people I know haven't been to that cookout, have come to that cookout. Now, where you're from, there's craft beer all day, every day. But only 12% of all the craft beer consumed makes its way into an African-American home. Okay. Let's look at that the other way around. Craft beer is a $27 billion industry annually. 12% of those dollars are Black dollars. Would you like more of that 12%? I would like. Or you want to keep fighting for the 88?
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's the thing.
I like the 12.
Like that, 12 is 12%.
Let me do the math.
Folks is like, oh, well, what if Black people
don't even do the math? It's over 3 B's.
Yeah, like what if Black people don't like beer? And it's like, well, given the numbers, it seems as if we like we're drinking at the same rate that we exist. Yeah. What are we, like 12, 13%? So if we 12, 13% of sale, I mean, it makes sense that that's where we at. Like, so it's. It's just wild that that's the first thing that people say, and these are professionals that'll say that to a motherfucker. Be like, well, mate, what if Black people don't like it? It's like, do you not like money?
Well, it's not. I think if you really look at the corporate structure, a lot of it is built upon getting to a certain place and kind of plateauing your way out. Like you don't push the envelope once you get to a certain place. So you work your way somewhere, and it's like, all right, shit's been working. Yeah, I'm here. I'm gonna just ride it out. So somebody come in with some unique idea. It's like, we want me to work. I did the work for 10 years to get here.
And I think but that's the thing is that a lot of these folks, like with the industry is plateauing. So the growth, it's the sales and things of that nature are starting to plateau in a sense that like, you can only cannibalize white dollars for so long. You know what I mean? Like you keep.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, the industry is not at its peak yet, right?
Right.
It's just that the white wallet is expanded as far as it's going to go.
It's gone. Yeah, I mean,
it's all the phrases.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I told people, I was like, this is the acquisition of a new customer is probably one of the most expensive parts of this thing, right? I was like, but if you have a built-in easy way to do it, that's even better. Because even though it's more expensive to get a new customer, it's almost twice as expensive to convert and cultivate somebody to become your regular from another brand. So to get somebody to go from this beer to this beer costs a whole lot more than just fucking this one if they've never had it.
All it costs is your interest.
Right?
Yeah, you fighting over these founders' dollars when you could be going after Budweiser dollars.
Right. In my case, Hennessy. You could take a little bit of the Hennessy market. You could infringe on it.
We definitely stole some of Ed's Henny money.
You know what I mean? Y'all got a little bit of my Henny money, man.
We took some Henny money.
The consumption has waned a bit. It's hard to go from Henny to a Tripel. You know what I mean? That's a hard night.
Okay, so yeah, that's hard. But you know what's not? You know what's not hard? To roll up on the spot where they got a strawberry cognac ale on draft.
A strawberry cognac ale. 1, that sounds amazing. 2, I don't know what the hell that is. That's but see, I think the creativity, that's something we always bring to the game in all industry. We always bring the creativity, and that for me is the most frustrating part when we come with ideas and people give us like but it's like, but everything we've been saying been working. Everything that happens is people poaching off of our culture. Like it's even if it's not the full whatever, you just take little elements and then you build it on something that people have already accepted, but then you throw a little zest on it. Like, all right, so just, you know what I mean? Just listen to us.
We've been doing soft opens for the month of February, right?
Okay.
And part of my what really like tickles my taint in this motherfucker, right?
That's another phrase that I've never heard.
Right? So like
Gooch offender right there. Fucking with the Gooch. Really, you got to tell me, baby. You don't really just come yeah, you don't just come through, just start, not the first night. No, don't Gooch me the first night.
If you want a second, like, that's where we going, bro.
I got trust issues.
I real quick. But the fastest moving beer I had in here, right? And even though this is for the people, this brewery is rooted in hip hop culture. This is us. This is, this is what we do, right? This is hip hop. This is jazz. This is R&B. Mm-hmm. This is the inception of rock music. You know what I'm saying? Like owning our history.
We started this shit. Yeah, I mean, you see them Egyptians out there, right? The Egyptians out there with the mass brewing out there.
You saw that joint, the 5,000-year-old industrial scale brewery unearthed in Egypt.
Started this gangster shit.
Out of nowhere.
That's the thanks we get?
We want to poke fun of that stuff at all times, right? So our number one beer, we was open the first 5 days we were open. We had a small batch IPA. We called it Culture Vulture. Right? It's gone, bro. It does not exist anymore. It's done. We was open a total of 20 hours. 20 operational hours, and that beer was gone.
So you came from, so you had the investors meeting. They heard you. They heard your word. How'd you get from that to opening up a brewery? Because I mean, like there's a lot that goes into opening up a brewery and like small business just ownership, whether it's a brewery or whatever the fuck you decide to get into. When you open up a business, like heavy is the crown and. A lot of those, like where your paycheck gonna come from is now your issue as opposed to, well, I just gotta clock in. You know what I mean? Right. So the world of beer and the love affair of that changes drastically, So, I guess what made you want to go into that, the owning, and then how did you go about it? Because, I mean, from my understanding, you guys just acquired a space. And that's something that, like in this country is you're less than 1%, man. You're in that very rare air of so how, one, why, and then how?
So why was because in that meeting, no matter how sound my data was, they still told me I was crazy. They looked at me in my face, number one salesperson in that company, and said, do Black people even drink beer?
Motherfucker, I'm drunk at the investor meeting.
If they didn't drink it, why would you let one sell it?
Bruh.
You ever heard of Billy D?
So from that meeting, I kind of like, it really was like the catalyst to like my aspiration. Because I just said that in the meeting, like, y'all should just rebrand, leave me in my position kind of shit, but make the focus selling beer to Black folks, right? When they didn't want to do that and they told me I was wrong, I was like, oh, I got something for that. Don't tell me I'm wrong, baby. Watch this. So I went out, me and a buddy of mine started homebrewing some shit, and we was pulling up at Ohio State tailgates with kegs of homebrew.
They're drinking beer there.
Feed us. We got the drinks. Let's go. We found a home with this marketing company. They was like, yo, don't ever leave. Come here every week. Every home game, come here. We don't care what you make. Y'all just keep coming here. So we kept coming. We was doing wild shit. We made a cinnamon bun braggot. That's where we did the strawberry cognac ale. You know what I'm saying? We was just whatever we could think of. The cookie butter porter. We didn't care.
Now, how are you getting into that, jumping into homebrewing and then going with these exclusive styles and flavors? Like how did you get to that?
There's already recipes for basic ass beer.
Right.
So how do you level up, bro? Like you got to add some. Look, I'm not brewing beer. We cooking soul, baby. That's what we do, right? So I got to put in flavors that make this thing attractive, right? I reverse engineer all of our beers. I tell people I brew beer, but I'm not a brewer. That's why I went out and got a dude who's a brewer by trade. That's what he does, right? So I'll sit down at the table and I'm like, yo, on some real shit, like, and I'll throw out one of these things that we probably not going to be able to do, right? I was like, I want to make a peanut butter porter, right? And call it That's Reese's. You see what I'm saying? So we start doing stuff like that. I have fun with beer names and the creativity behind beer, and then we come up with a way to actually manufacture that shit. Like when we did a Hefeweizen, I was like, yo, let's throw a whole bunch of fucking banana Laffy Taffies in that shit. And they was like, why? I was like, just so I can call it all the Heffin' bananas.
Because, and also banana Laffy Taffies are useless otherwise.
Yeah, there's nothing good that comes from banana Laffy Taffies.
I love Laffy Taffies, but I don't know about the banana joke.
Yeah, no, it would have to be a beer. Yeah, shit. Throw that in the stout.
They made it waiting for somebody to put it in some alcohol.
Yeah, no, you gotta.
I love banana Laffy Taffies, yo. Like I rock with banana.
That is not a thing you say to people out like that. Like you don't want to.
I mean, I was fucking with you.
I go to the Five Below.
We don't agree.
But you need one of them in the crew, right? Because you know when you was growing up and you would get the bag, you ain't want to throw off your favorites. So you got Sizzle on the side. You hold Sizzle down.
Everybody needed Sizzle.
You hold Sizzle down with the yellows. He's like, that's my man. Stay hitting me up.
Yeah, like just like somebody like everybody need a pickle friend. Somebody that'll be like, yeah,
I'm the pickle friend. I'm
a pickle. I'll eat the pickle. Yeah, I mean, like,
I'll give the pickle. I'll put banana Laffy Taffies, bro. Let's go.
I can see it in the stout, man. I'm not, man. Oh yeah, no.
Thinking about it, it makes sense.
You gotta think of, at the core. There's the ceiling and the floor for Hefeweizen is very fucking close, right? When you get that right mix of banana and clove, you're right in here. It's amazing.
Okay.
But when you get too much of one, too much of the other, or none, like your Hef is trash. But this is a chance to have fun with beer and highlight how fun this industry is because we as people haven't been exposed to that, right? I mean, heck, last time we was online when we linked up, bro, you was drinking some Warhead shit, bro.
Yeah.
You was drinking that Warhead sour beer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was the
Who was that?
Oh shit, who had that? Was that shit? I don't even know. I forget who the.
Yeah.
But I love that sour shit. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I mean, I love the candy shit or whatever. Like I say, banana Laffy Taffy, bro. It's just, I don't know how. I guess.
But Hefeweizen, though.
And Hefeweizen, hell yeah, because it brings out the banana in the Heffy that already has been in it. I get it. I wholeheartedly got it. I understand it. Again, it's just banana Laffy Taffy is just a thing that I'm gonna always forever be like a little sideways on. But I do.
I tell you what, man, save y'all banana Laffy Taffies. Box them up and ship them.
And send them through. Send them through. I'll send them through. I'll send them down. I'll send them through. But I like the creativity you bring in, man. I just like the feel of just being here, not even having been to your spot or had your beer, but just like I like the feel you go in. It's a creative atmosphere. It's like not the run of the mill type of brewery. You know what I'm saying? Now,
they got to the run of the mill because they already been through all this creative shit. You see what I'm saying?
Well, the rest it is the end recipe of, I guess, creativity to run of the mill.
As African American beer consumers, right? As an entrepreneur in that space, like it'd be really shitty of me to force you to drink what the rest of the industry is calling good and not let you experience all the fun and variety that they had to determine what was good for them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
salesman.
Let's play mad scientists, make some off the wall shit, and like I said, Scars Exposed. It could be a really bad fucking beer.
Yeah.
The first time I did that cookie butter shit, I put the cookies in at the wrong time. When we bottled it, there was cookies floating in the fucking bottle.
How does that taste? Because I might fuck with that.
Right.
It's like cookie fermentation.
It hits. So what we do is
cookie
you
drizzle,
get the little airplane cookies, the little Biscoff airplane cookies.
Yeah.
We crushed up it was a small batch. We crushed up like 3 or 4 pounds of that shit. Then we put them in the oven for like 20 minutes just to bake off any like weird ass yeast that might have been there. And then we pour it into the mash. So when we mash in that porter, we put those cookies in there and wash off the cookie sugars. Bam. Kill all that. Take all that. Then when you get down into the boil, we start to add like molasses at flame out. And then we reintroduce like some of the nutmeg and vanilla. and let that beer ferment with those things in it.
Cookie pulp is something I would like to try.
Right. And I'm not saying we're going to make 50 cans of this shit. I'm just saying we're going to do it. And if it hits, we'll make more later. But small batch in the beginning and then see where it goes.
I mean, that's what, that's what drives the craft industry. Like you said, is that small batch experimentation and whatnot. And those are the breweries that it's a toss up between breweries who just put out really finely tuned, great classic type shit like hazies and whatever.
Nothing but the
hits.
I mean,
nothing
but the motherfucking
but that
hits.
I feel like that's rare. There's very few breweries that are able to do that because I mean that's any profession.
Right.
You got folks that are very good at doing that. Then you got a bunch of motherfuckers that are just doing what everybody else is doing. You know what I mean? I think that's like you said, that's the bulk of the craft industry, which used to be the bleeding edge, like, oh man, this is a new flavor. It's coming from, the foot. Like, once you get to a certain level of
beerdom,
of beerdom of production, it's like you got to keep the lights on.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, so that
too much to take those chances.
Yeah, and I mean, and then even if you do, you have this whole like you have this whole fandom that is like turned on the industry, man. There is nothing more cynical than a fucking a craft beer group on Facebook full of white dudes, man. They hate most things.
They know everything.
Yeah, they know everything, and it's all like, and like it's just like, oh, well, this is all right, and it's just like, oh, and it's just like, what the, you know what I mean? But like, I'm all the black craft beer groups, motherfuckers is like, yo, did y'all know that they making this shit over here? And it's still
so exciting in those groups.
Yeah, it's exciting. Beer is still fun in the black beir groups, man. Like I go there and like we still be cutting up and bull. You go to the white man and it's just like, oh, well, we mission that, and it's just so I get what you're saying in that like you get to still have fun in that culture, and I feel like, and that's what we do, here and with the fat and everything else. Like we're like, yo, like
bring your personality.
I mean, like we like opening up to the black community. We're bringing what made craft beer great. There's the creativity. There's that positivity, that awe in it. There's the opportunity that comes with that shit. Like, I mean, like motherfuckers are paying their bills. Everybody got really excited about craft beer when that shit started paying their bills.
Well, first off, before you get off of that shit, we need more of us to do this thing, right? This industry has a 5% fail rate.
And that's and restaurants is where restaurants at? Like
they did 70 something like
yeah.
They're like 70%.
Because the way I phrase
5% fail rate is nuts.
Yo, they
5% motherfuckers don't make the Pee-wee football team.
Like this is wild, right? So if you took 100 brothers and sisters and gave them $1 million and said, open a brewery, each of y'all open a brewery, right? 5 of those people are going to fail. The other 95 stay in business. So how about this? How about we do this as an experiment? And the 5 people who just so happen to fail, right? We'll just give you like 0.05% of the other breweries and you'll still be set for life.
Or you could be the salesperson.
Right?
You get another job in the industry.
You could, but I'm just saying craft beer has that kind of power, bro. Like,
yeah.
Just think about that. We don't have 7,300 breweries in the United States right now, craft breweries.
Yeah.
60 of them are black owned.
Yeah.
That's less than 1%.
And that's 60 breweries. That's not brick and mortar.
Yeah.
That's not all brick and mortar.
There's a lot of contracting, there's a lot of brands. It's not like there's very few, like, I mean, the more we get into this, the more we realize like there might be closer to like 30 brick and mortar black owned craft breweries in America.
And if I can, I'm gonna take a second real quick. I would love for the black brewery that exists right now to stop chasing distribution.
Well, let's expand on that.
It's vanity, bro, right? So when you get in this thing, it looks good. It does, right? But to make it like fast math, 2 kegs, right? In bars and restaurants. Your company just made we'll say your beer's the bomb. You made $600, right?
Okay.
That's very unlikely. Chances are you made like 3 or 4, but we'll say it's $600, right? Now, let's say you had a spot like I'm in right now, and you sold 2 kegs worth of beer across your counter, $1,400. Now, to sell those 2 kegs out into the market, you got to pay a salesperson mileage plus about $30,000 a year. 24 if you got a silver tongue, you can make it happen, right? I'm paying $5 an hour for somebody to sling this shit. Which one of those puts more money in the Black community?
So
it's beer over the counter. So if you really want to make change, you want to impact fiscal change as a Black brewery, stop chasing distribution, because there's somebody at that distribution company, there's typically some white dude at the top who's telling you to sell him your beer 27 to 30% below wholesale value and be satisfied with that shit. And your money has essentially just left the Black community. You just cut us off.
See, I like this because I think we're in a shift. We're in a shift in the world in general, right? I think hyperlocal is going to become a thing because these systems that we've been a part of, that we've grown up, them shits is breaking down. Them motherfuckers done broke the stock market. Motherfucking COVID done broke our fucking health system. Like we're learning that all this shit has been bullshit. It's all been created to concentrate wealth. Right. But the way when we start to look at some of our counterparts and how they maintain these communities, it's keeping those dollars insular. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like you're gonna have a certain experience anyway. So if you're drinking beer, right, why not know where you're getting the beer from? Know the person who's making it, knowing where they're getting the product from, know that that the person that they're getting it from is bringing that money right back. And we're gonna start, I'm hoping we're gonna start keeping these dollars within the community. And then there's going to be some transfer in and out because, we're still a global society, but you got to take care of home because we don't know what's next. We don't know. Ain't none of this shit real. Money's not real. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we just learned that this shit's not real.
Yeah.
Like,
well, no, I knew money wasn't real when I started trading beer for fucking Chuck E. Cheese tokens for my kids.
That's what money is.
Yeah.
We've always had an economy. We never had dollar bills.
Trade and services. I mean, that dollar is really just a service on paper. You know what I mean?
All it is a transfer of value.
Yeah.
What is it worth to you? You know what I'm saying? Like I put a gold chain on, it might cost me a band, right? Well, if I tried to give it to Jay-Z, it'd be like, yo, pay me a band for this. He'd be like, that ain't shit. I got diamonds and shit like that. Like this is a shoelace you trying to hand me. Like I'm not handing you that. Like this shit's not real, bro. Like when fucking we stopped backing the money with gold, it was really like a wake up call. Like, yo, you got to really be strategic about this. And I think with everyone having time and access with the internet, so with the pandemic and now the internet, like motherfuckers got time to like really look and delve into shit and really learn shit.
Yo, the fucking I'm reading how Bitcoin is like raising the temperature
$48,000 for one.
2 degrees. Like the community, so Bitcoin mining, where they use massive amounts of computing power and these servers and all these like computers, they use massive amounts of computers in order to like because as any economic system, it has to create more shit. As there's more humans, there's more Earth, like money grows, right? So there's people that spend all of this time and money and computing power on just mining when that new Bitcoin arrives. Mm-hmm. And they have to prove this, that, and the other or whatever. But at the end of the day, like if they get this new equation and it's like every 10 minutes there's a new Bitcoin or some shit. Every 10 minutes, if they get this shit, then they get like, I mean, what is Bitcoin at now? Like 50 grand
it was
or whatever?
At 48, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like so you can get that based on like, on this computing program or whatever. And the amount of computers that are doing this right now on Earth account for like something around like 1% of the energy that is being used on the planet.
That's why my fucking
this is on a new currency that I don't own any fucking Bitcoin.
Nope.
I barely know what the fuck it is.
Nobody knows what it is.
And if you talk about what's real and what's not, and based on this, that, and the other, Bitcoin is and it's 1% of the energy. It's so much that it's raising the temperature of the earth. The motherfuckers that are trying to mine this theoretical new currency are raising the temperature of the earth because they're going to the cheapest place that you can get electricity, which is based on coal, which is based on, natural, resources, not wind energy and all that shit. And you're raising it. Listen, man, when you talk about like the shit
die.
ain't real, motherfuckers, hell no, it ain't real.
We gonna die.
Because all them computers could be doing some shit else.
We going to the end of the earth.
Figure out, I don't know, cancer or some shit. But instead, we're trying to mine a theoretical, like, currency.
We got 3 generations left.
Wow.
And humans gonna be gone. So how do you sell beer knowing that we got 3 generations left?
That's how you sell beer. Like,
you might as well be fucked up. If you going out,
beer to make those 3
you sold it.
But I am interested in your business model, right? So knowing that the craft community has all of these experts and nerds, right? But you bring a very fresh approach. I don't know. Do you keep like maybe a flagship on? Would you keep a flagship on tap, or like
Definitely.
Is it just interchangeable all the time? Like how do you identify folks who are looking to experiment?
Every brewery should have core beers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's just some beers that are like your mainstays. They're always going to be there. They drive people. You make a quality product in that space. Like we know for us that's going to be like the golden ale. That's Saison. That's Farmhouse. Our brewer kills that. That's also a very versatile style. It allows us to take some risk, you know what I'm saying, in some places that other people wouldn't. Like,
yeah, you gotta, man, Farmhouse. We was just talking about Farmhouse ales earlier, man. You make a good Farmhouse, you gold, because them is hard.
Right, but you just imagine if I tell them, hey, yo, look, get a base recipe, right, for that Farmhouse, and we've always got, let's say we make 10 kegs at a time. Every time we produce it, 5 kegs is going to be Farmhouse, straight Farmhouse. Then we're going to take the other 5 kegs and turn them into 2 variants, 2 different variations. You know what I'm saying? One of those joints might get hit with some, we'll just say rosemary and thyme, something we want to do some crazy shit with. And the other portion of it might get hit with cinnamon sticks and honey. But we've turned this one beer that we're able to produce on a large scale, right, for a reasonable price, and turned it into 3 beers.
And so much on that spectrum too. Rosemary and thyme and cinnamon sticks and banana Laffy Taffies or whatever you say.
but I mean, is there, so, I get, and I guess that's where, I get like how everybody else is just trying to, like get into the game or whatever. But I feel like as there's a larger demand for Black-owned beer, you would have to distribute because people aren't going to be able to travel to where you at. Now, yeah, the hope is that more black-owned breweries pop up. But before that, like in order to create that demand, people have to have access to that. You know what I mean? Okay. Or the demand may rise before the access. Like there's a lot of folks right now that are like, yo, where can I get some black-owned beer? And I'm like, you got to drive to Ohio. You know what I mean? Like,
say it again.
And that
you got to drive to
Ohio. So it's
how many do we have? Is it 5?
In Ohio? Yeah. So, is there a place for distribution in Black-owned beer until we get to that?
There's a space for it, right? But don't cut off your own circulation. Don't suffocate yourself too early. When you get into that production brewing model, what ends up happening is the creativity behind this beer leaves you because now you're trying to meet the demands of what's going on the shelves at the store. So you sacrificing the fun in this industry, right? To appease somebody who's not even in your neighborhood, right? Who's not even gonna make an impact, right? For me, this is impact over incentive, right? I can make a much larger impact if I keep this money longer. If I make longer money, like I don't want to sacrifice. Remember, we said 30% below wholesale.
Yeah, no, that's not
insane. Even the retail.
Yeah,
remember,
nah.
So a case is 4 6-packs.
But
that's
you gotta cut the break if you get 30.
But I mean, I don't know. Again, and that's the same. That's when I get lost because I don't know the actual industry. But I mean, is there a place like like these hype breweries? That's where I kind of see the future of craft, Black-owned craft beer going is into that realm of hype beer because there's so few. You talking about rarity, bruh. There's enough motherfuckers making hazies. You know what I mean? But how many are black owned? You talking about rarity? You are one of 30, and there's not even that. Yo, half the states ain't got a black owned brewery, and 5 of them is in Ohio.
In
so
where?
Yeah,
you know, we don't just do it. We overdo
when you
it.
talk about hype beer. Like there's a market out there, and again, I don't know how, you know what I mean, but I feel like there's this untapped market of black people who want to buy black owned beer and don't have access to it, that are willing to pay like whatever the hell it is. And
so that's irresponsible. We got to stop that shit, right? That's that Jordan sneaker shit. Like, I'm gonna pay as much as I need to.
No. I'm not saying to hype beast it. What I'm saying is that there's a demand. How do we meet that demand? And I guess can we meet that demand?
You gotta inspire motherfuckers to.
I want to.
When we can completely vertically and horizontally consolidate this industry into an African American wealth machine, right? When we have complete vertical and horizontal, consolidation, then we can go. Then we can go. That's when I'm ready to distribute, right? I'm ready to distribute my beer when there's a Black-owned distributorship. I'm ready to do that when I've got several Black-owned grocery stores, liquor stores, corner stores that are able to take my product so that the Black dollar can then circulate. When I got more Black farmers to buy grain and hops from, when I got a Black chemistry lab that'll produce yeast for me, you see what I'm saying? When I got a Black engineer or a machinist that I can call to troubleshoot my brew stand or produce my brew stand, then I'm ready.
When we all over the industry.
Yeah, I just as a Black consumer, I'm going to be spending my dollars on beer anyway. And I'm like, well, how can I give that Black dollars to somebody else?
I think this right here is the issue. Right?
Yeah. And that's the thing is that I want to, I'm more of a selfish consumer, and I'm like, yo, I want your beer. And you're like, well, that doesn't make financial sense to me. And therein lies like the disconnect. And I'm trying to figure out, how do we get to a place where I can spend more?
We have a conversation like this, and then someone like me goes, "Hey, Dave, you know somebody in your neighborhood who wants to open a brewery?"
I want to get some of that, of that 12. No, because it's actually in my corporate life. It's a conversation I had to have with the small group that I had, where it's like, we really need to talk about scale. Scale never comes into our concept, right? You what happens is we do something well once, and people always gravitate to it because we put a lot of flavor in it. We got a lot of spin on it. So it's like, oh, that shit is dope. That's fire. You should do it. Like, imagine when we did our first Epic Night of Comedy, and we did it in a small spot, and it sold out. But we kept that same model throughout, so we kept selling out. Now, if we'd have taken that same show and tried to do it at Heinz Field that next month, now we look crazy because we didn't think about, we got to pay a whole bunch of staff. We got to pay security. We got to pay for the parking lot. We got to do vending and concessions. We got to pay this, that, and third. We got to fix the field because they had to put the stage on it. It fucked up the 50-yard line. We don't think about all of that. We get so consumed in making this large change when actually, when we look at it, when you talk about systemic oppression, right? You got to break it down. You got to break it down.
Muay Thai training, right? Micro fractures.
Yes.
That heal stronger afterwards. That's where this is at, right? So I want everybody to have Black beer, right? I mean, we took oldest fermented recipe in history is a Mesopotamian poem, but let me not ruffle them feathers today. I've been ruffling them for a minute.
It's all right. Keep ruffling them.
Right? So it would take for me to get beer distributed throughout the state of Ohio, right? I need at least 4 reps, right? That's $120K a year, just to put in their pockets, plus their mileage, plus their benefits, right?
Right.
So let's just say I took 3 years, right, worth of that money. I mean, we already at over $500,000 just to support that. What if I just waited 3 years and said, all right, bro, we took 3 years, we put the money away, let's open up another one of these.
Yeah. You
see what I'm saying? But instead of me just opening up one and keeping that money, I'm like, hey, yo, my bad day. I know we had to like mule some beer across the border. Let me take these chips that I stacked up right here.
Yeah.
Let me get these Grippos to you, bro.
Yeah, slow and steady.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's one thing that like I don't want to be a flash in the pan. I want to be the flame underneath that motherfucker.
Yeah. No, I feel you, man.
So what you a preacher's kid?
Nah.
You just dropping all these phrases like let's get this out here.
Red
Hey, here's what I tell people,
fish.
man. People like, hey, yo, like you good at sales, you always got some shit to say. I was like, bro, just grow up ugly and still want to get laid.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'll get your mouthpiece. That'll get your mouthpiece together.
Yeah.
Together.
That'll
Guess
get your
what?
shit all together.
Been doing it for 30 plus years.
I earned everything.
Right.
So we gotta get you back on the podcast. Definitely gotta talk to you about festival things. You know what I mean?
We gotta get somebody to mule some beer, some
already
some beer.
mules and whatnot. You know what I mean? But
I'm already plugging. I'm too hyped.
yeah, like before, so but like so what are we looking at? And not to twist any arms or whatever. What are we looking at? Timeline wise, when you may be opening, or whatever, and then I don't know, if maybe you would be in Pittsburgh in September for a festival at some point.
First off, we already talked about this. I said, come hell or high water. We already said this. I was like, yo, I don't care what happens, bro. I'm gonna be at Fresh Fest, man. Like, my brand will be there. We want to support this thing. I'm already over here talking to a cat. I was like, look, I'm going to need 2 15-passenger vans when Fresh Fest kicks. I'm getting DDs already lined up. We coming through with the people. The bus leaves at a certain time. We're going to
y'all turn into a casino trip.
Yeah. Because this festival deserves that kind of recognition, right? And it really only takes one person to make that kind of change, right? So if I'm the first person to say, yep, I'm the first brewery to put a bus together, or 2 buses together, and we rode out. Guess what? Like, if you don't like what I'm doing, beat me then. Right? So now it's going to be another brewery who come back the next time. We're like, well, we got 3 buses. And I was like, well, I'm glad you got your first 3 because I'm on 4. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, oh, my bad day. I didn't put an extra bus out this year. I opened up a new location. Like, and that's where we keep growing at, right? We're going to keep talking, right? And I think it's important for the breweries that are on here, like when we collaborate for these beers, man, yeah, the cans are great. Let's get them out there, right? But put these collabs on draft and make some money. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of opportunity to talk Fresh Fest every time you pour that beer across your counter. You don't get to defend your beer or promo your brand or talk your shit when they buy it from the store. When they order it through Taver or when Taver cancels shipping to your state 2 days before the Fresh Fest pack. Never mind, my bad.
Ohio always been. We always had to sustain ourselves. We always, you know what I'm saying, we out the mud with it.
That was a rough day for me. I ain't even I looked at my phone like, oh huh. But yeah.
I didn't even want to come at you with that news.
I'm glad I got it. When I did, I was sour the way I got. But but I feel you. We were there. Yeah. But yeah. So when is?
I just want to encourage them to put it on draft in these places, so you get a chance to promote yourself, promote another brand, put a few extra dollars into your industry, and increase your buying power as an African-American entrepreneur, right? You know what I'm saying? Empower your bartenders to provide a better experience because that drives their tips up higher.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a cyclical industry. So we're gonna let Day ask you this question. I know you waiting.
So when what's the timeline that y'all looking at opening up?
So we wild over here. I grabbed the keys to this building January 11th. I did my first soft open event February 1st. So we call that For the Culture Night. February 1st will forever be For the Culture, right? I don't care what day that falls on, whether we're supposed to be open or closed or not. We're going to be here for the people on that day forever. But we opening the doors officially February 27th so that we can give that last weekend in Black History Month.
Give it up, because by the time this come out, y'all going to be full effect.
Hey, if you're listening right now, you could go and get some brews right now across the counter.
Yeah, that's how we're gonna do it. But I got you can take it with you. I got the pounders, baby. I got Crowlers.
you gotta give them the pounders.
You gonna slide that across the counter. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Go on and get that across the counter. Support Black at the source, man. Like that is congratulations, man.
Yes,
I know that was a long time coming.
That.
And I know it was an extremely difficult journey, man. So, you know, like, and it's just the beginning. So, you know, like it's just the beginning. Before we get out of here, though, we got to know, what is your favorite?
No, we don't have to know.
What is your favorite form of potato?
Favorite form of potato?
Yeah, you don't gotta answer.
What's your favorite form of potato?
I would just leave that question where it is.
We got it. I mean,
I'm an Ohio boy, right? Mm-hmm. So like, if I answer this question, I got to do it the Ohio way. My favorite form of potato was Grippos, homie.
Grippos. What's a Grippo?
Mm-hmm. He ain't from the town.
Yeah,
Grippos.
Oh, he know. He think it's wrapped in lettuce because they think they started putting potatoes on everything, but they don't know about the Polish boys and all that.
The Polish boy. Give me a boy. Give me a
Grippos. I don't even know what is.
Yo, we should do something. We should just have.
Grippos are like the best barbecue chips in the country, bro.
Oh, huh. I fucks with a good barbecue chip. And then we got some good chips over here in PA. I
wanted to keep it in the tuck and see who was going to hit us up and be like, we know who a Grippo is. I wanted to see who was going to hit us on the, on the socials. Yeah. OH10 in the building. It's just going to be a soft takeover. Like, it's 2021 takeover for Ohio, man. It's
what they say, the industry shady, right?
Yeah. No, it's but we need folks like you. You know what I'm saying? You say industry shady, it need to be taken over, right? And I will say, you know, I respect the way that you keep it 100, keep it, you know, and when I say keep it 100, I mean keep it you. You know what I'm saying? It's all sizzle. Everything we got from here was all sizzle. But then all of a sudden, when you really thinking about it and when you really listen to it, the packaging may be non-traditional, but that information is there. You're well researched. You understand your industry. You know what the fuck is going on. And there's no way to be successful without doing that. But I think a lot of times we think you got to be a certain way to get to a certain point when really you just got to be yourself and get the people what they want. You know what I'm saying? So let the people know, because I know they're going to be looking for you. Let them know where they can find you.
Yo, Instagram, Crafted Culture Ohio, Craft the Culture on Twitter. You find me directly. I'm sipping with Sizzle everywhere you look. That's Facebook, that's IG, that's Instagram, that's even my .com. So
man. We wanna thank him. I know my co-host had to jump out on something quick. And I might try to Buzzy, should I try the outro? I'm gonna fuck it up. You can't have me do the outro and we ain't been here for months, but you know what I'm saying? We want to thank our guests. You know what I'm saying? We're looking forward to the future collab. We're gonna keep that in the tuck till we make the announcement, but we're looking forward to the future collab. I'm looking forward to getting out to Ohio, getting down to your spot. I got a cuz out in Columbus, so I'm gonna have to hit him up like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I gotta stay there for a minute and then swing through because he think I'm coming to see him, but nah. But listen, if you're looking for us, man, you can find us. If you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com as hold on, I'm fucking it up. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, and Google Play as Drinking Partners. You can do something. Facebook, this, that, the third. Listen, look up Drinking Partners on Google and find Ed Bailey, Dave Bracey. Look us up, you'll find us. And make sure you check out Crafted Culture, man. Type Sizzle. We got somebody who coming through. They say what up.
The Cam Bruton came through the building, baby.
Say what up. What up, though?
What's up?
How you feeling, man?
Hey, I'm living a dream. Another day in paradise.
Another day, another dollar, man. I can't wait till we can remove these masks. We get out there and come enjoy some good beer, man. He held you down. You know what I'm saying? So we love it, man.
Shoot me the Addy, bro. We'll get a couple of these over y'all's way, bro.
Hold on, don't say it online because they, you know. I
don't
know if you can shit there. So, you know, Pennsylvania, we gonna connect offline. But as always, Drinking Partners is the crew. Epicast is the family. Sizzle is that dude, and we out. Hey, appreciate that.
You know that's not illegal. You can ship beer to your homies. I don't care. I'll send you this old Bliggity Black Stout we got over here because it's almost gone.
Is it? That's what it's called, Bliggity Black Stout.
Bliggity
so
Black
all your shit is like what's the movie? CB4. I'm black, y'all. I'm black.
Yeah.
I like it though.
It's kind of like a reference to something like we got a joint called Knock If You Bop. That's my Doppelbox. I got an amber ale called Your Sister Cute.
Yes, sister T. Look, send me whatever you working on recipes.